Black people do not lie. Black Americans do not lie. If you're looking for the honesty, go and see. Because honestly, during the death of this man, or when this man was unalive, when this man was pupilled, a lot of Black Americans speculated that yes, it is going to come from this angle. And honestly, that was what happened. For those of you that don't know, probably you're just seeing this video for the first time, you have to let me know in the comment section so that if you want me to do research and bring every single thing that happened for this man to be pupilled, I will literally bring it down to your table. Now, it is so sad, it is now so pathetic that the people that pupilled this man were literally eyes. And guess what? Not white eyes, right? They are Latinos. Ah, God. Let me ask one question, please. I thought ICE agents are only supposed to be US direct citizen, which is white folks only. I thought that is what it's supposed to be. Maybe I'm wrong. Just let me know in the comment section. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Sonia. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. And credit belongs to the original creator of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. With that being said, let me just go ahead and roll out the clip for you guys so that you guys can watch from beginning to the end. And let me know your honest opinion in the comment section. For disclaimers, this is just for educational purposes only. Let's go watch, guys.
ProPublica just released the names of the two agents who are responsible for the unaliving of Alex Preddy. These two agents, in my personal opinion, should be sitting in jail right now, waiting for trial. However, they're being protected by Border Patrol. That's why it has taken so long to even learn their names. And it's a shocker. The first one is Jesus Ochoa, and the second one is Raimundo Gutierrez. Jesus Ochoa apparently goes by Jesse, which is your typical, change my name to an American sounding name. If you know, you know. And he graduated for Texas Pan. And he is from Rio Grande Valley. Another fucking shocker. And he became a gun enthusiast in 2022 when his wife left him, who gave a interview to ProPublica. She said that he had been dreaming to be a Border Patrol agent for some fucking reason. And he finally landed the job in 2018. That by 2022, when she left him, he had become a gun enthusiast with more than 25 rifles and pistols in his house. About Raimundo Gutierrez, they didn't say much, but I will bet my name that he goes by Ray. They just gotta strike me like that kind of people. So now that we have their names, hopefully this will open the door for a little bit of justice for Alex. But I'm Alex. This is my rant, and I'm out.
I don't know why y'all are acting like the officers who killed Alex Preddy, their last names being Gutierrez and Ochoa, is so surprising or part of some conspiracy or something that's not fishy. White supremacy is a multinational ideology. It truly is. You can be black, you can be brown to participate and uphold white supremacy, okay? I see it all the time when I see black police officers acting up because they have a white police officer, so they're going to start shouting at us and acting all crazy when we're at events because they're showing out for the white cop, okay? I see it when I see people that look like me being ICE agents and Border Patrol agents. Like, what the hell is y'all doing? Because white supremacy is a multinational ideology and you do not have to be white to uphold it. We see it all the time. So the officers that killed Alex Preddy, because the reason why their names were released, because these are allegedly the officers that fired the shots, their last names being Gutierrez and Ochoa should not be surprising to you because white supremacy is a multinational ideology. This isn't part of some larger conspiracy. This is just the reality of people that might hate themselves, but people participating in white supremacy, plain and simple.
So the two ICE agents who unalived Alex Preddy about a week or so ago in Minneapolis, Minnesota, outside the donut shop, names have been revealed. And isn't it ironic that they're both, I believe, are Latino? And it's like people try to do everything they could to protect these individuals' names. And the government especially. But we do know that for a long time, the government has always protected its own. why couldn't they protect these right here? Because people wanted to, people wanted answers. People wanted to know what the hell was going on. Trying to protect these agents and their identities, man. You know what this tells me, guys? This tells me that during the ongoing investigation of Alex Pretty's untimely unaliving by those federal ICE agents, they must have found something wrong. They had to have found some evidence showing that that man was, you know what, the M word. His life was taken. Because why would they release the names of the agents? They do everything in their power to protect those ICE agents' identities, especially because of everything that happened with Renee Good and a few other people who was unalived by ICE agents right here in the U.S. But now they released their names and their photos, which tells me that charges could be possibly brought against these two individuals, man. So I'm glad that they are releasing the names because people need to know. You should not be covering up for these people who was out here committing heinous crimes on the streets of America, especially against our innocent people, man. Border Patrol people should be on the border, patrolling the border, not in our cities, acting like that they're police officers in uniform, because they're not police officers, man. They need to get ICE the hell out of here. Now that these men have been identified, it lets me know even more that charges is going to be brought against these two people. The American people need to see justice be served, man. So I say this is a good start in the right direction. You guys comment in the comment section and let me know what you think of this. What type of punishment should you think that these two criminals should face? Do you think that they will be convicted? And what do you, and basically, do you guys think that the government is going to pursue charges or try to sweep it under the carpet like they do everything else? Thanks for watching.
We have some major news. The ICE agents who killed Alex Pretty have now been identified, despite Donald Trump and his regime trying to cover up their names. The two federal immigration agents who fired on Alex Pretty are identified in government records as Border Patrol agent Jesus Ochoa and Customs and Border Protection Officer Raimundo Gutierrez. The records viewed by ProPublica list Ochoa, 43, and Gutierrez, 35, as the shooters during the deadly encounter last weekend that left Pretty dead. Both men were assigned to Operation Metro Surge, which was the immigration crackdown across the city of Minneapolis. And of course, CBP, which employs both men, has so far refused to release their names and has disclosed few other facts about the deadly incident. So far, Donald Trump, Kristi Noem, Stephen Miller, all of those people have been protecting both of these men. But please, help their names go viral. Jesus Ochoa and Raimundo Gutierrez, those are who killed Alex Pretty. ProPublica did a great job with that article on finding out who they are, but seriously, those names need to go viral. Every single American needs to see who killed Alex Pretty.
Jesus Ochoa and Raimundo Gutierrez. Those are the names of the alleged federal agents who tragically ended the life of Alex Pretty in Minneapolis last weekend. Hispanic agents. Imagine that. I mean, I guess now it makes sense why the federal government decided to open an investigation into the shooting, right? Hispanics that work for the federal government, for this federal government, and think they're gonna get the same treatment as their Caucasian counterparts may be in the FAFO phase. Now, the names of these two officers were revealed by ProPublica. Now, according to ProPublica, Ochoa has been with CBP since 2018, so he has a couple years of experience. Now, why it took two federal officers to shoot Alex several times, hopefully we find that out soon. But the irony, am I right? Hispanic agents going after Hispanics. If this government doesn't prosecute them, hopefully the one in 2028 does.
I am a little scared to make this video, but if ProPublica can be brave, so can we. ProPublica has identified the two CPB officers involved in the shooting of Alex Pretty. They are Border Patrol agent Jesus Ochoa and Customs and Border Protection Officer Raimundo Gutierrez. Ochoa has been a patrol agent since 2018 and Gutierrez joined in 2014. The pair had been working in field operations for quite some time and were assigned to the Special Response Team, which conducts high-risk operations like those of the police SWAT units. Both men are from South Texas, though they were operating in Minneapolis as part of Operation Metro Surge. ProPublica did not get these names because of any cooperation from the federal government or from CBP, and it is actually a great risk for them to publish it. A note from their editor says that they are publishing the names of the 2 federal immigration agents involved in the fatal shooting of Minnesota protester Alex Preddy because they believe that there are few investigations that deserve more sunlight and public scrutiny than this one. 2 masked agents firing 10 shots at Preddy as he lay on the ground after being pepper sprayed. The Department of Justice says it is still investigating the incident, but the names of the 2 agents had been withheld from Congress and from state and local law enforcement. This policy of shielding officers' identities, particularly after a public shooting, is a stark departure from standard law enforcement protocols, according to lawmakers, state attorneys general, and former federal officials. Such secrecy, in our view, deprives the public of the most fundamental tool for accountability. In putting together this article, ProPublica reached out to the Department of Homeland Security, who referred them to the FBI. The FBI declined to comment. ProPublica tried to get comment from both of the border officers. Neither one answered. Former commissioner of the CPB said to ProPublica that he believes the shooting may have been prevented. Alex Preddy was attempting to help a woman who had been knocked to the ground, and that was seen as interfering with law enforcement. However, the decision by the officers to immediately use pepper spray on Alex created a chaotic scene and likely contributed to Preddy's death. And that federal officers are jumping to using force in situations that can be de-escalated. I've linked to the article in my bio so that you can read it. Any money that I generate from this video will be donated to ProPublica.
Well, hey, here's the good news about those Border Patrol agents being Latino that killed Alex Preddy. Some of the people supporting ICE are defending them. I saw some people in the comments yelling at the guy that posted their names and was like, "You're doing that on purpose. You're endangering their lives because you know people are going to try and find them." And I was like, "You're protecting Latinos. Aw, that's so nice." Now maybe you could like redirect that, because yeah, it's a gut punch every time I hear accents in the videos, every time I can see that they're just not white men, or when they're women in there, I'm just like, bro, oh God, it's so painful. It just feels like betrayal every time. But you know, I have friends in Arizona, and their extended family, cousins, uncles, aunts, they're in Border Patrol, and they're Latino. And they're very hardcore. And I never understood it before. Like when I was introduced to them, I was just like, why? But, you know, it's jobs. They speak Spanish. And I also feel like there's this, you know, we came here legally, so everyone else has to come here legally. But also I feel like they feel like if people with, you know, documents get in here, then it gives us a bad name. And we're never going to be looked at as equals. If all these people come in here and everyone talks Sandro's like, "Oh, are you illegal?" kind of that kind of stuff. So if they can look like they care about getting them out, and maybe do care about getting them out, then they'll earn respect. But also maybe someday, once they're all out, then we'll be on the same level playing field, which is never going to happen. Because the United States is a cult made of white supremacy and patriarchy with some capitalism thrown in there. And that makes people cuckoo. I don't care what your background is. It will make you nuts. So this is just a rough learning curve about Border Patrol, about all the different ethnicities and sexualities that can get involved in this stuff. That every time, it's just like, what? It's like a brain stun. Like, how is this possible? But hey, it's America, and anything's possible.
You know, I thought it was a bit strange when Stephen Miller so quickly relented on his whole Alex Preddy was an assassin and a domestic terrorist. Not because it was so obvious to anyone who saw the footage that that was clearly a lie, but because no matter how egregious the claim, Stephen Miller never backs down. In fact, he doubles down. But suddenly it was like, oh, maybe the Border Patrol agents didn't follow protocol, which is a very un-Stephen Miller-like thing to say. But now that ProPublica has released the names of the Border Patrol agents involved in the shooting, it all makes sense. Jesus Ochoa, who goes by Jesse, and Raimundo Gutierrez, 2 Border Patrol agents from South Texas, Hispanics. Which also explains the fact that they're suddenly on administrative leave. There's a DOJ investigation into the killing of Alex Preddy, which is in very sharp contrast to how they treated the killing of Renee Good with Jonathan Ross. Certainly no DOJ investigation. In fact, instead, they went after Renee Good's wife. And let this be a reminder to those Border Patrol agents. Doing the work of your oppressor is not going to save you. Selling out your own community will not protect you. It just makes you look like a coward. And the moment you stop being useful, this regime will turn on you instantly.
Hey friends, it's February 1st, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. ProPublica released an article an hour ago that names 2 men they claim are responsible for killing Alex Preddy. They say they have done so through government record, but at this time, the DOJ, DHS, FBI, the entire federal government is refusing to cooperate in identifying who these men are. So if you'd like to read the article, this is what it looks like. I'll put a link in the comment section. I think it's worth noting that both names have very deep Latin roots, if you know what I'm saying. And it's a sick fucking day and a sad set of affairs when you are arresting, beating, detaining, and kidnapping men, women, and children who come from the same places you do. That's fucked up, dude. I will, however, read this part of the article to you. A few paragraphs in, it says, Preddy's killing and the subsequent secrecy surrounding the agents involved comes as the country confronts the consequences of President Trump's aggressive immigration crackdown. The sweeps in cities across the country have been marked by scenes of violence against immigrants and United States citizens, by agents allowed to hide their identities with masks. An almost unheard of practice in law enforcement. As a result, the public has been kept from one of the chief ways it has to hold officers involved in such altercations accountable: their identity.
Jesus Ochoa and Raimundo Gutierrez. Those are the names of the 2 frozen water men who shot Alex Preddy. Jesus Ochoa and Raimundo Gutierrez. I don't know whether you guys need to have some kind of team meeting, like all hands on deck conference call where you can get on one accord, but there needs to be some internal housekeeping done, I fear. I've said it once and I'll say it again. The terror that the Latin community is experiencing in the United States, we're going to look back on it very similarly to Japanese internment. They're trying to scale all immigrants in this country, right? Particularly those that are not citizens yet, and especially Latin Americans. But what I will say is the Japanese weren't locking themselves up. They weren't putting on tactical gear, putting guns in their holsters, and throwing their own people into detention centers, that's for damn sure. Let alone shooting and killing in cold blood those who had the gall to say it's not okay. Like, are you guys talking to your uncles and your aunties? I expected a John or a Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. Choa and Raimundo Gutierrez, that shit threw me for...
I know I'm supposed to feel sorry for Alex Preddy, but I don't. I don't. Do you know why I wasn't shot by Border Patrol this weekend? Because I kept my ass inside and out of their operations.
So that was Megyn Kelly, and she was talking obviously about Alex Preddy, and you heard what she had to say, and I'm sitting here thinking, is it possible, and hear me out, that her sentiment is informed and guided not by what is right or wrong objectively, but by the fact that she just doesn't agree with what Alex Preddy stood for, which is the respect for the Fourth Amendment and for basic constitutional rights for everybody, no matter the color of their skin or their accent. And I'm saying that because while those were the words that Megyn Kelly chose to describe Alex Preddy, when it came to Kyle Rittenhouse, who also carried during a demonstration with 2 major differences. Number 1, he was carrying unlawfully, and number 2, he's still alive to tell us about that. When it came to Kyle Rittenhouse, these are the words that Megyn Kelly chose at the time.
Kyle Rittenhouse just fell to his knees in tears.
It's upsetting to watch. It's like I feel like the media is just so awful, Andrew. They've been so disgusting from the beginning. We forget people's humanity in the press.
Very different words. And just in case you're still wondering if what drives Megyn Kelly's sentiment is where a person stands in the political spectrum and not how they're treated by the federal government, right after that, Megyn Kelly tells us the quiet part out loud.
We just want to go for the jugular. We want everyone to pay. And in this case, we wanted him to pay because he was a Trump supporter and he was a Second Amendment supporter and he wasn't on the side of the BLM rioters.
So spare me the fake tears and the fake sighs and the rhetoric, because the bottom line is that you, Megyn Kelly, choose how to feel, not based on what is right and wrong, not based on how the press treats some people, but based on whether you agree with the message of the demonstrator or not. And that, well, that's just gross.
The men that unalived Alex Preddy have been identified. They are Border Patrol Agent Jesus Jesse Ochoa and Customs Officer Raimundo Gutierrez. What is it with these self-hating, pick-me, Hispanic men targeting innocent people in their own communities? Ochoa is 43. He joined the Border Patrol in 2018. According to his ex-wife, he owns about 25 guns and had dreamed of this job for years. Raimundo Gutierrez is 35, and he joined Customs and Border Protection back in 2014. He's a part of a unit that performs high-risk raids like a federal SWAT team. Or, disarms and unalives VA nurses. Both of these men are from South Texas, and if they were really concerned about border protection, why didn't they stay there? Also, if these are both long-time federal officers, someone needs to check their records because odds are, this isn't their first serious incident if this is how they act. CBP has kept their names secret from the public, about as well as the DOJ has kept Trump's name out of the files. They've both been placed on leave, and a federal civil rights investigation is underway. With Jesus Ochoa and Raimundo Gutierrez now identified, will there be justice for Alex Preddy? Let me know in the comments down below.
Could someone make sense of this? I'm just gonna play.
Breaking news right now. ProPublica has confirmed the names of the 2 federal CBP agents who fired on Alex Preddy. Here are their names. This is reported by ProPublica. The first is Jesus Ochoa. The second is Raimundo Gutierrez.
So, 2 Latinos unalived a white man who was trying to protect Latinos. That's crazy. But if y'all wondering what they actually look like, no worries. This video right here shows you who they are. Yes, and thank, the person who actually did the work and actually found out who they actually are. But I'm going to just roll it.
You ready to see Alex Preddy's killers? This is 43-year-old Jesus Jesse Ochoa, and this is 35-year-old Raimundo Gutierrez. They're stating that this person from this screenshot is the first shooter, the person who shot first. And if you take a look at this nose, you compare it to this nose, and that schnoz, yeah, I believe that's what we call a fucking match. Which would make Jesse, nah, fuck that, Jesus here, the first shooter, which would make Raimundo here, the second shooter who decided to join in because shooting people is fun, except this isn't what Raimundo looks like anymore, because even though Raimundo deleted his Ray Since 90 account mid-January, before Alex Preddy was even murdered, by the way, still found posts. And as you can see, Raimundo not only has a beard now, but the funny thing about deleting your account is that your screen name still pops up in videos that you were tagged in. Like this one, where we can clearly see that's you in the reflection with the beard now. And what's that? Oh, you have this tattoo on your left forearm now. Thanks for letting us know. And before you deleted your page, I know that you mostly posted about your Corvette and your truck, but I would rethink having such a recognizable and loud car that says, hey, look at me, I'm over here. Yeah, and you guys might want to pull a Jonathan Ross and a Brian Palacios and get immigration to move you incognito, because it was really easy to find where you both lived. Not that these photos that you posted on your own free will with your address showing didn't make it easier or anything. So yeah, fuck you both, and I hope neither of you know a moment of peace for the rest of your miserable, traitorous, racist-ass lives.
So it looks like Alex Preddy, the nice, scared nurse who lost his life over the weekend by the hands of ICE, isn't exactly who the news is portraying him to be.
This is a moment the news movement filmed on January 13th in Minneapolis, showing a man who appears to be Alex Preddy interacting with federal immigration agents 11 days before Border Patrol shot and killed him. Our footage was analyzed by the BBC, whose facial recognition technology confirmed his identity to a 97% degree of accuracy. We saw observers shouting at the agents as they walked back to their vehicles. When they started driving away, the man...
Who's shocked? Raise your hand. I'm certainly not going to raise my hand because I'm definitely not. So you mean he's a known agitator against ICE? So you mean he's been at numerous riots prior to the one where he was just a scared nurse trying to help a woman out? Oh, okay. See, this is why we wait to see when other videos come about. This is why we wait for all the facts to present themselves. Now, do I believe that that man deserved to lose his life? No, I don't. I still stand by that. I don't think that anybody deserves to lose their life over this. But when you put yourself in situations that are constantly aggressive and you're personally being aggressive to law enforcement, what do you expect to happen? Especially when you have your firearm on you and 2 magazines in your car as backup. Now, again, everybody has the right to carry. I'm a big advocate for the Second Amendment right, but having your Second Amendment right comes with responsibility. And if you're somebody who's known to be an agitator, to go to all these riots that allegedly are supposed to be peaceful protests, but look at that. If you're a known agitator, going to these riots, being aggressive with law enforcement, but then also carrying, well, I think the agent may have found himself in a spot where his life felt a little threatened. That being said, I still don't think that he should have lost his life, but I hope that liberals learn from this. If you're going to go to these protests, be smart. Don't agitate law enforcement. If you're going to carry, be smart. Don't agitate law enforcement. Now, I wonder how many of those influencers that previously were posting about the scared nurse who just wanted to help out a woman on the street from Scary Ice, how many of them are going to retract their statements now? How many of them are going to say anything else about the additional evidence? I would bet 0. Absolutely none.
And this may get me canceled because I'm just connecting dots that may be inappropriate to connect in some people's opinion. The 2 ICE officers who killed Alex Preddy are most likely the children of immigrants. And shot that man with zeal. I saw one thing that was like, I think it's Gutierrez, his ex-wife was like, he been waiting for this moment his whole life. Had like a collection, like 25 guns, which also for me is gaggy because, so I'm gonna assume you're trained and you know what you're doing. So it wasn't this spur of the moment, oh, people have to make rash decisions. You've been waiting for this moment your whole life. And y'all shot that man 10 times. When a generation before they would have shot your grandparents 10 times. That's wild.
It didn't surprise me at all that those ICE agents who murdered Alex Preddy in Minneapolis are Latino. And here's why. This country has a way of selling you patriotism through the good old boys club. Military, police department, and whatever other agency is an offshoot of slave catching. I've seen it time and time again in my own community, with black officers harassing and assaulting their own people, playing a supporting role to white officers who are beating people up, never checking it, never saying that it's gone too far, never holding those folks accountable. Because when it comes down to it, most folks want the power of white men, and they find that behind a shield, behind a badge, behind some army fatigue, and will literally do their own people in just for the sake of ostracizing themselves to say, I'm not like them. I'm different than them. I'm one of the good ones. I'm the law-abiding one. I came here legally. I'm educated. I did it the right way. And so forth and so on. It's not an anomaly to be a marginalized person and to see the very people who look like you enacting said violence against you. And if enslavement has taught us anything, is that you will never be them. Because when shit hits the fan, they will never protect you.
So we got the names of the federal agents who shot and killed Alex Preddy in Minnesota. And I am trying to figure out, is this satire? Like, I don't know if we are being punked right now, because you're telling me that Jesus Ochoa and Raimundo Gutierrez, you're telling me they have been Custom and Border Patrol agents, federal immigration agents, since 2014 and 2018. Seems like things are not being done as they always have when it comes to the Department of Homeland Security and their ICE operations, because if these two have been Custom and Border Patrol since 2014 and 2018, what's changed now? Why are they doing this now if Kristi Noem keeps claiming that it's all being done like the previous administrations? No, it's not. I can't help but acknowledge the names, if you know what I'm saying. I just don't believe anything, because the crossover of it then being what I think it is towards who I think it is like, are y'all trying to play Uno reverse right now? Because it's really going to make me mad if this is now the plot and that is how deep the propaganda goes. Like, now it's being framed as, okay, we have y'all working for us, but we still don't want you here. So now I'll flip the script and now we're going to make it look like this because that's what we do. And I don't. They released the federal immigration agents' names who shot Alex Preddy, but I don't know if I buy it. I want for y'all to tell me what y'all think.
Anyways, welcome back, guys, and that is all I got for this video. It is now more annoying first and more shameful that a white woman, you can see I actually played it on my clip, right? A white woman said that she didn't feel pity for this man because nobody asked him to go there. And I've been seeing different videos since the death of this man, Alex. Some white folks have decided that when something happened to their own, they will have to look out for that particular loopholes and now hit it on you. First, we knew that every single stories that the media has been bringing relating to this man were false. But this man was pupilled. And you can hear from the video clips that I played where the wife of one of the officers that pupilled this man literally said how many guns her husband have. Rifles that he had, and how he has literally been wanting, he has been so eager to join this force. Finally, he joined ICE, and what will he do? He has to look for people he needs to target to pupil them. And you see, instead of putting him in custody, looking out for every single thing that has happened and how people have analyzed, we still have some border patrols trying to make things come out as if it is actually making sense, as if it's just so sad. And this is why I respect Black Americans when Black Americans are saying we are sitting out, we are not coming out, because I can tell you that a lot of these people would have targeted Black Americans. A lot of them will have targeted to pupil Black Americans, be it they are drunk, be it they are right, be it they did not even do anything. In as much as they are out protesting, in as much as they are out saying, I will not agree, I not go agree, blah, 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 they will just do what they want to do. They'll just do what they want to do. I just pray this man literally get justice. Honestly, I just pray. The problem is there is no amount of justice that will actually bring him to life. There is no amount. Black American, please sit out. Do not go to the war front. Do not go to any protest fronts. Just stay in your house. Let's see who is coming to your house to come and make troubles with you. Because as at this point, every single person is getting scared. It has gotten to that point where you need to first of all ask yourself, Even if I want to go buy this at the grocery store, what will really happen? What will be my fate? That is how scary they have made US to be right now. Because if people that are meant to understand the law, stand by the law, protect people, do things like this, only God will know who is safe and who is not safe. Imagine a Latino or a Latina or whatever. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Credit belongs to the original creator of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Please subscribe, like this video, drop me your comment, and lastly, do not forget to share. And thank you so much for staying stick and hook with me to the end of this video. And yes, with that being said, with no further ado, I do like I always say in my videos, I'm going to be saying bye, and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye guys. I love you guys. Mwah.